Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and giving me your time. I am Eric Daniel Coughlin, and this is another episode of Just My Thoughts. So today, I thought we'd do something a little bit fun. We'd just pretty much sum up the entire breakdown of the NBA as far as creating playoff pictures for the Eastern Conference, playoff pictures for the Western Conference, and then break down what I believe is going to be this year's matchup in the NBA championship. And I did something interesting. I created a couple of alternates because in the wonderful world of professional sports, things happen like injuries, right? So you can have Jason Tatum for 6 weeks and be on fire, and then he tears his meniscus, or you could have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averaging a triple-double, and then he breaks his collarbone, or weird case scenario, something tragic happens like Luka Doncic breaks his wrist. He's out for 6 to 9 weeks. And I'm saying superstars for a reason because it's, there's a new era upon us. There's a new dawn of the NBA, of the NHL, of the NFL, and of the Major League Baseball, of the MLB. It approached about half a decade ago, about the start of 2020. Really, people that were being drafted, even like take for instance from 2018, take for instance Patrick Mahomes, so some of them are the evolutions of this new era, but so what I'm saying is youth matters is what I'm saying. So I created a couple of alternate championships because we don't know what's going to happen in these days of life. That being said, let's break down the NBA Eastern Conference playoff bracket. So as we all know, there's what they call a play-in round. 9, 10 play 7 and 8. The top 6 are protected. So that's how the NBA works. Keep that in mind. If you're in the top 6, you don't have to worry about the play-in bracket. If you're the bottom 2, you have to compete with the other bottom 2. It's the bottom 4. There's the top 6 and the bottom 4. This is how I see the East playing out. So I'm picking Boston to repeat even as champions. I'm just going to be open about that. I said it last year. I'm going to continue to say it this year. I think if you take in consideration they didn't lose nobody, and they're working out situations with Kristaps Porzingis, even, it's just hard to say that anybody can go out there and beat those guys. They kept Derek White. They still got the, Pritchard. Pritchard just launches three-quarter shots and, buzzer beaters like he's shelling out Christmas candy. It just seems to happen. So I'm picking Boston to be number 1 team in the East. I'm picking the Philadelphia 76ers to be the number 2 team in the East. I think everything they did this offseason was brilliant. I just got to tip my hat to them. Getting Paul George, to come over there and play is great. To keep Maxey, to keep the other young guy, your other young guard you guys kept around. You guys, Joel Embiid, keeping him around. Getting Andre Drummond. I think getting Andre Drummond and finding a solid rotation for him in your bench. Don't treat him like Chicago did and barely use him. Really use this guy. Really give this guy minutes. And, man, you guys are going to be scary, dead-ass scary against the whole entire East. Probably even against the whole entire league. Like, everyone better look out. Philadelphia's coming for you. Respect. Number 2. I definitely picking, the Orlando Magic to be the 3rd best team in the East. What? Yes. So last year I picked them to be about the 5th or 6th best team in the East. Guess what? They were the 5th seed. And they just kept on playing their butts off. They just kept on beating people in the playoffs. They were just magical. They were electric. And they are young. And that not only are they young, they just signed everybody that they had to re-sign. Keeping Franz Wagner like a commitment. Not playing around. No joke. No secrets. Hey, we want you. 4-year deal. 5-year deal. I think Franz got the 5-year bag. You guys still don't have to worry about Pablo until after next year. So, and you guys already got the money for that. So, like the money that you won this year for the playoffs, you gave it all to your team. You're going to be back into the playoffs, maybe in a championship. You're going to get all that money, pour it into Pablo, pour it into Suggs, and just, you don't really have to change. You guys are growing. In a couple of years, maybe consider getting a center. Actually, if you want to fuck around and find out, dabble a little bit of that money. You might want to jump all over a center in the next year or two, you guys are competitively strong, athletic, young, shoot the three ball, play dominant defense. I like Suggs. I like Bancaro. I like the Wagner brothers. Mortis is good. Franz is amazing. You guys got Wendell Carter. I know I just said that you guys might want to consider, a center, but I mean, you guys, you're starting five. Hey, fuck yeah. But it's the pieces after that you guys are going to have to just work on a little bit, but sky's the limit for you. Orlando slotted at the third team in the East. And right behind you, another young team that was super impressive last year. Same thing, get in the playoffs and just keep on winning, keep on winning, keep on winning. I got the Indiana Pacers slotted as the number 4 seed and the number 1 team in my division, and I can't even do nothing about it. But let's just be real with these guys, right? What you got? You guys still got Miles Turner. Awesome. You guys got Pascal Siakam at trade deadline last year and signed him to a 4-year bag. Awesome. Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam together? Okay. You guys got Tyrese Halliburton. He badass. You guys got Andrew Nembhard. Plays hard. I mean, his name is in his hustle. The dude's pretty freaking good. TJ O'Connell just seems to be everywhere at the same damn time. What Alex Caruso was to the Bulls is what TJ O'Connell does for you guys. You guys are good. Indiana Pacers, 4th team in the East. Here's where everything becomes a question. Can Giannis stay healthy all year? Can Damian Lillard stay healthy all year? Can Brook maintain being healthy all year? And all these guys string it together before they all get old, because Brook's turning on 33 years old, 34 years old. Brook's been in the league a long time. Giannis being the youngest of all the players, Giannis still working at 28, 29 years old, maybe approaching 30 years old. I don't quite remember when Giannis had got drafted. I think he was in the league 4 years before he blew up, and he's been blowed up for the last 4 years. So I'm just going to call him a 30-year-old player. Damian Lillard, same thing. I think Damian Lillard is 31, 32 years old. So all your guys are not even in their prime. So I don't pick Milwaukee to be the 5th best team. I would pick Miami Heat except for this reason at all. For 3 years, they've shown one piece loses, the whole team loses. Last year lost Jimmy Butler, couldn't do nothing. The year before that, lost Tyler Hero, couldn't do nothing. The year before that, Bam stayed hurt. You guys didn't really do much. And then you let go of Caleb Williams, so I don't pick you either. I think Milwaukee Bucks and I think the Miami Heat fall in the rankings of the East. Which leaves the Bulls, which leaves the Cleveland Cavaliers, which leaves, the New York Knicks. So I'm going to slot the Cleveland Cavaliers at 5. The Bulls at 6, the Knicks at 7, the Heat at 8, the Milwaukee Bucks at 9, even though that sounds crazy. And I'm going to slot in the Toronto Raptors. You damn right. I think Scotty Barnes is going to get it done. I think that every first place team automatically makes the playoffs, just like in football. I think that happens in basketball, which means that since they're not playing in the Central and since they're not playing in the East, they have their own division, and I'm telling you, I think the Raptors are going to be a playoff team this year. Those are my 10 teams for the East. Celtics winning all the way around. Now, let's talk about the West and how I see the West playing out. I think OK City Thunder, number 1 team in the West, definitely competing for a championship. I'm going to give you guys a spoiler alert. The NBA championship that I am predicting this year will be the OKC Thunder versus the Boston Celtics. But let's get through the West. I'm going to pick your Dallas Mavericks as your 2nd team in the West. Even though you guys just completed a big 3, even guys you just come off of fighting for a title, I still got you slotted as the 2nd best in the West. The 3rd best, I'm picking the Nuggets, man. I think offseason wise, you guys spent good bread. Getting Dario Saric might prove to be one of the smartest things I've ever seen a team do in a long time. Having 2 dominant big men and banging 2 dominant big men the way you're supposed to. like they did in the 80s and the 90s, like what you guys are trying to create with Joker and Sarge, could be very dangerous. I like that. I love Russell Westbrook. I've loved Russell Westbrook for maybe a decade, so I love that. And even though there's another Western team that I kind of like the fact of how strong you guys are. Okay, I'm going to openly say this. Every time I see Nikola Jokic play basketball, he wows me. He does something I've never seen him do before. And I've already been watching him play. I mean, in the last 3 years, I've probably seen 20 games. So 20 different times I've seen him play. And he does something I've never seen him do. He's just a phenomenal basketball player. That's why he won MVP. It's not just because he's big. He can score, shoot the three ball. He obviously can rebound. He's going to block your ass if you think you're coming in there. I mean, he's a one-man wrecking crew. He's kind of like this era's Shaquille O'Neal. If you want some, come get some. Third best team in the West. The fourth best team in the West, and a team that, I mean, I really don't care that. I just think you guys are going to be surprisingly good. I'm not a fan. I don't care how far you make it. Sacramento Kings, I got you slotted as the fourth best team in the West. This is the reason why. I know a lot about DeMar DeRozan. Now he's on your team. He used to play for me, so I know. I know a lot about Domantas Sabonis because he used to play for Indiana in my division. I know a lot about that guy. Guess what? He's badass. He's on your team, so that's two badass players. De'Aaron Fox has been in the league for about 8 years. He's only played for you guys. He must be so damn good. You only want him to play for you guys, so thumbs up for that. Malik Monk could have walked. You guys could have let him, become a free agent. You guys didn't have to re-sign him. You guys could have spent money, could have put your faith, could have did anything you wanted, but you kept your guy. All in all, I got you slotted at number 4 in a very competitive Western Division. And I don't even like you. LA Lakers. I do like you. I got you slotted as the 5th seed in the West, which is a lot better than what you've been in the last 2 years. Last 2 years, you finished 7th, you finished 9th, you won out and got out of the play-in bracket both times. You were competitive the first year. You guys were like an unsung hero and ran out of gas. And then last year, you kind of ran out of gas as soon as you got out of the play-in bracket. But I still have a lot of faith in you. I mean, LeBron James is who he is. I think I got a lot of faith in Rui Hachimura. If LA wanted a trade and they say, hey, we'll take Rui Hachimura for Patrick Williams and a future first-round draft pick, it's gone tomorrow. Like, even if they wanted more, hey, listen, this is going to sound stupid to people that don't understand how much I love my team, but I love my team. I would give Zach LaVine for Rui Hachimura. I'd do that for sure. All right, so I like Rui Hachimura. LeBron James is who he is. I think Anthony Davis is still within the top in the NBA. Listen, in the NBA, I think he's a top 10 player in the NBA. So that's good. Maybe top 25, but maybe top 10. I mean, legit. And I like D'Angelo Russell. Listen, I like the whole makeup of you guys, and I got you slotted as the 5th seed. Here's a team I don't like at all, and I'm still giving them the 6th seed, and I still think they're overrated, and I think that they got a dream killer. I'm going to give the Phoenix Suns the 6th seed, all because, 1, Devin Booker's a one-man show. He's selfish. He's a lot like Zach LaVine, can just score a lot more points. That's the only difference. 2, I absolutely cannot stand KD. KD is a whine, crybaby, team destroyer. He broke up the whole entire OKC team, then didn't even stick around. Went all the way to Golden State just so he can win 3 championships with the Splash Brothers. Then left them, went to Brooklyn, swore he was going to win championships with Kyrie Irving. Never even made it into, or got their asses kicked in the playoffs a couple of times. Team had to break up. So now he's all the way over here in Phoenix Sun calling shots like he thinks he's an owner player. He thinks he owns the team, whatever team he's on. I do not like him. Bradley Beal, same thing. Like, this dude runs his mouth. I've heard Bradley Beal for 15 years say he's the best shooting guard in the NBA. I've never seen him be the best shooting guard in the NBA. We're talking about Klay Thompson. We're talking about Jimmy Butler. We're talking about, let's just spit out another really good name, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're talking about, obviously, Kawhi Leonard. We're talking about, and the people say Kawhi Leonard's a shooting guard or small forward, but I'm telling you right now, he's a hell of a lot more than a small forward. That man's a shooting guard. How you doing? I think Scotty Barnes can bang with this guy. I think everybody in the league who's a starting shooting guard, and I think every sixth man in the league can play just as good as Bradley Beal. That's what I think. This is my show. Welcome to my show, Just My Thoughts. And what I think is Bradley Beal's average as they come, but he's always claiming to be a superstar Phoenix Sun. I got you slotted as a 6th seed of the West. 7th seed, which should be the 6th seed. I should swap these two teams, but I'm not going to, all because of the KD factor. The New Orleans Pelicans. I wished you guys would have made the cut and not be a play-in bracket team, but you know, you're going to be a play-in bracket team, but this is the reason why. The West is stout as fuck, bro. Like, superstars galore. OKC, the Thunder, super squad. Their starting 5, incredible. The Dallas Mavericks, their big 3, phenomenal. Denver Nuggets, somehow inspirationally awesome. It's just like that team don't make sense, but they're so fucking good. Inspirationally awesome Denver Nuggets. The Kings are going to kick a lot of people's ass. DeMar DeRozan is going to show everybody that he's a superstar. That's going to happen this year, mark my words. He will be playing his true form of a small forward this year. Instead of having to help with the power forward position, he don't no longer have to help. He's going to be doing his own thing. He's going to be dangerous. The Kings, 4th seed. Lakers, 5th seed. 6th seed, Phoenix. Pelicans, the 7th seed. I'm so sorry. But I like DeJounte Murray. I like Brandon Ingram. I like Zion Williamson. I like the fact that you got Daniel Tice to give Zion Williamson some help. Hey, listen, if you guys played in the East, you guys would be pretty fucking competitive, but you play in the West. I'm sorry. Same thing with the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz, I think all you Jazz fans out there, I want you to understand, I think you had a great offseason. Hands down, you signed everybody you were supposed to sign. I think that's inspirational. I think the problem is you guys play in the West. Got you slotted as the 8th seed. The 9th seed, the most overrated team in the NBA. What? Eric, don't say that. I am Mr. C, a.k.a. Eric Daniel Coughlin. This is my show, Just My Thoughts. I think the most overrated basketball team in the NBA, and I got them slotted as the 9th seed, not as a mistake. Your Minnesota Timberwolves. I think you're going to run Anthony Edwards to death. I think you're going to find out that Rudy Gobert doesn't know if he's going to be... He's a center, all right? You can't make him a power forward. Karl Anthony Towns, he's a center. You can't make him a power forward. I think the fact that you're trying to make one of them be something that they're not is confusing how they're supposed to play, and you guys got lucky all last year, and I think that the conference as a whole got so much competitively stronger. You guys are going to get exposed. Minnesota Timberwolves. No mistake, 9th seed. And shockingly and surprisingly, and I told you I was going to do this because I'm a man of my word, I got the Trailblazers. That's right, Portland. Hey, guess what, Portland? You guys are going to be a playoff bracket team, baby. But you start as the 10th seed of the West. You're going to be in the play-in bracket. You're going to have your hands full. But as the 10th seed, if you can knock off the Utah Jazz, baby, you're in there. If you can knock off the Minnesota Timberwolves, hey, baby, you're in there. You guys are competitive. I like Jeremy Grant. I like that. Look, you got Jeremy Grant some help this offseason. You guys got some help in the backcourt this offseason. You guys are going to be in a play-in bracket, baby. The 10th seed in the West. Portland Trailblazers. But all for none, because I think your NBA championship is going to be the Boston Celtics versus OK City Thunder. I think the rebirth and the regrowth of OKC following suit and adding pieces and following suit and adding pieces year after year after year. Consistency is key. I don't think they can beat Boston, but I damn sure think they can beat everybody else. So I'm picking Boston to be your NBA champions, competing against the OK City Thunder. But just in case injuries go down, there's always alternates. Alternate championship. Alternate number 1. I'm taking the Magic versus the Kings. I told you I really think the Kings got an opportunity to be very, very competitive. Domantas Sabonis is an elite basketball player. DeMar DeRozan is an elite basketball player. De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk are getting the opportunities to show the entire world and showcase their talents that they are not average basketball players. I don't think this is an average team. I think this is a very, very strong team, a very shocking team, a dark horse team. And I feel the same way about the Magic. I think the Magic definitely by next year and the years to come, and this year and last year to prove, the last 2 years to prove, the Magic are a handful. Listen, the Wagner brothers don't play around. Just watch the Olympic ball. Watch some NBA. Watch some clips. Franz is legit. Mortiz is legit. Wendell Carter Jr. is legit. 6'10", can jump out the roof, block, shoot the three, rebound. So their three right there, pretty badass. How about their future star and potential all-star, future all-star, Pablo Banchero, amazing, incredible. Jalen Suggs, fast as fuck, and dunk, boy, lightning quick, boy, badass. They added pieces like, Caldwell Pope to the mix. I think that gives them depth. I think that's smart to bring in depth. They needed it. They needed a veteran appearance, leadership. Now they got it. Presence. I don't know why I spaced out. I'm sorry. So alternate championship, Magic versus Sacramento. Orlando versus Sacramento. I'm taking that as a alternate championship, so a championship possibility for both those teams, according to how things go, according to plan in the NBA. And then I call this, so that's a wild case scenario championship. But I call this my dream matchup championship. And long far-fetched, you have to just have humor to appease me at this point. But your Chicago Bulls versus your LA Lakers. Now, LA's got everything it takes to be a champion. They've already been a champion. They're trying to be champions again, and I think that is a possibility. That's why they're in this alternate. That being said, just a few shades ago, 3 moons ago, my Chicago Bulls were number 1 team in the NBA for 8 weeks. 2 months we led the league at number 1. We lost our point guard and 3 years go by and now we're a laughingstock. But with that laughingstock, we didn't have to break down and rebuild. No sir, no sir. We got pride in Chicago. We kept our superstar shooting guard Zach LaVine. We kept our superstar center Nikola Vucevic. We committed to the broke down point guard Lonzo Ball. We committed to our young pieces Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu. We committed to our young piece Patrick Williams. So we ain't changed hardly shit. What did we get? What did we get? How about a future superstar, I'm not going to say, MVP or Hall of Famer, but we're going to say a future multiple all-star Josh Giddey. A man that can walk into a basketball gym and average a triple-double, and he's only 21 years old. Not only do we got Josh Giddey, we're going to be able to have an opportunity to have Josh Giddey for near 10 years. How you doing? This might be the biggest piece we've been looking for. We've been needing a point guard ever since Derrick Rose. Guess what just happened to fall into our lap, ladies and gentlemen? A point guard. Holy shit. And we've been having problems when our guys come off, and because of injury, Zach hasn't even been there, so our guys have been Kobe and Ayo. Thank you, boys. I love both of you. When they come off, we've had nobody. Now we got Chris Duarte. This guy's going to help on the bench. Listen, this is legit numbers. This guy's going to come off on the bench, playing with Ayo Dosunmu and Lonzo Ball, and still average, I think Chris Duarte is going to average about 9 points, about 5 assists. He's going to be flirting with double-digit points and double-digit assists. He's going to be flirting with that. And he's going to have to share the ball because Ayo is going to be the sixth man this year. And let me just tell you something about my point guard, Ayo Dosunmu, who's actually transitioned into a small forward, a dominant one at that. Luol Deng, baby. Yeah, you know how I call Jimmy Garoppolo Baby Brady? I'm going to start calling Ayo Baby Dang. That's a real thing. And that's what we got in Ayo Dosunmu. So Ayo Dosunmu, 6-man. The bench point guard, Lonzo Ball. What? Right? And then the shooting guard, Chris Duarte. It only gets better. Our power forward rookie, Matas Buzelis, who's proved in Summer League this is a bad mamma jamma. Matas can shoot the 3-ball. Matas can play defense. He can get blocks. He can get steals. He can get rebounds. Matas Buzelis is everything that we need and have been needing for 4 years. We got it in Matas Buzelis. How you doing coming off the bench? Coming off the bench as a rookie, averaging a double-double. That's my predictions for Matas Buzelis. And then we got Jalen Smith coming off the bench being the center. So Jalen Smith is a guy that can produce the numbers that we've been paying Patrick Williams to produce for the last 4 fucking years and has failed. Now we've got that guy that has been putting in that production and he's coming off the bench. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand if you understand what I'm trying to tell you, but in a rebuild program, our bench 5 is building blocks for a franchise. So when we lose Nikola Vucevic in the next 2 years, that becomes Matas Buzelis. How you doing? So if Zach leaves us in a couple of years and wants to go fight for a title, that becomes Ayo Dosunmu. How you doing? So absolutely in a dream matchup, the Bulls versus the Lakers, hell yeah, it's a dream matchup. Hell yeah, I have to have faith in who I am. But I love I love the Chicago Bulls, and I like the makeup of the Lakers. And in my mind, I'm telling you, sky's the limit. You don't know what happens in the NBA, and the Chicago Bulls could shock the fucking world. Listen, we could be in the top 5 teams of the entire NBA, and I'm not making it up. It's just how we're made up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how we wrap it up. If you enjoyed the show, if you like what you heard and you enjoyed what you see, always feel free to cash at me, Eric Daniel Coughlin, #Coughlin Pride. Have a nice day. And go Bulls!